As the leader of the Booner Path, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the fuck up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juice pumping, boys.
Welcome to Crunch Time Sports with Jeff Iafrate and Booner. It is Tuesday, December 2nd. We are back. Game week, Lions, Cowboys. Another day to talk sports.
Here we go.
We got plenty to get to. We got Flannel Sam joining the show. Can't wait to talk to him, especially Flannel during these times.
Oh, my Lord.
It's going to be an interesting conversation with him. We got the Lions, Cowboys, power rankings for Top 10 Tuesday. Dan Campbell spoke to the media. We got some injury updates. And apparently, I totally forgot about this. I guess there's just so much going on. Pro Bowl voting is happening.
I forgot about the Pro Bowl. And by the way, I think the Pro Bowl this year, I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's the same week as the Super Bowl now. I could be so wrong on that. I'm pretty sure they switched it up to where they make it easier on the guys.
Oh, really? I don't know.
Dude, I could be wrong.
I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you.
I think what they did is the beginning of the Super Bowl week. I think they're doing it in the Super Bowl city. So you know how usually it's on the bye week before, that bye week, and they do it at in Orlando or something. I think this year Super Bowl's in San Fran. I'm pretty sure they're just doing it in San Fran leading up to the Super Bowl, which is a little bit smarter because these players they're like, why do I have to travel the world? A lot of players have to go to the Super Bowl if people don't know, for ad deals and media row and signings. Majority NFL players are at every Super Bowl. So if you want to meet NFL players, go to the Super Bowl.
So you're saying Lions players will be at the Super Bowl? Is that what you're saying?
In some capacity, yes. Yeah. They will not be playing in it, but they will be there.
Got it.
People seem like I've been telling people the last 24, 48 hours, they're not winning a Super Bowl. People just seem so shocked that that's the thing. What? Booner? What? What? They're not. There's no way.
Is that a hot take? I don't get it. Is that?
I mean, it would be a hot take if I said they're going to win a Super Bowl.
I mean, one team wins it every year, and we've watched enough football, and there's people in the chat that have watched more football than us. I can tell you that this ain't a Super Bowl team. It just ain't.
I would love to ask John Gruden or something right now. Is this team going to win a Super Bowl, John? I don't know, man.
John Morton, he's got John Morton coaching. That's my guy.
No, I don't know, man. They just do it. Man. I don't know how to do a John Gruden impression, but
yeah, I maybe I should be more excited about the Pro Bowl. I don't know. Maybe that's something bad because apparently Lions players, there's still a chance they get. There are some players that are still going to make the Pro Bowl, which probably will sting even more considering they could. I don't think they'll make the Super Bowl. But there's still a lot of guys that will probably participate. And this is, by the way, is this crazy? This is another reason why I can't seem to I hate Pro Bowl voting. What the hell is this?
Graham?
How?
It's to be fair, Graham's not going to get into the Pro Bowl.
No, it's
just more so voting. The fans voted for him. Shout out. What? I think it's just you have such a loyal fan base here in Detroit where when you go and vote, a lot of these guys or fans just vote for the Lions players.
I mean, what?
He's so far from Pro Bowl, man. He is so far. He's not going to get in, though, because you know what happens, right? The fan vote, I think it's the top two or something at each position, and then it goes to coaches and players vote after that. It's the peers. So he's not going to get in.
I'm looking at the fans. Be better. Be better, guys.
Dude, they're voting for their players. Come on, give them a break. Taylor Decker should be in here over Sam Laporte. Over Graham Glasgow, not Sam. Graham.
I don't know. I mean, if we're throwing out BS votes,
where's Tate?
Throw Isaac Tetzlaw in there. I don't know.
All right.
I mean, if we're doing the whole fan voting, what out of all players? I got respect for Graham, the human being, but I think Graham would even be like, huh? Me? Oh, I'm on here? Cool, awesome. Fans are voting me in. I get fans are just being fans, but when I saw this, I saw people were commenting on the Twitter. This is a Twitter post from the Lions, and people are like, "What the hell? How did Graham get fan votes? Good for him, I guess.
Good for Graham, dude. He deserves it. End of his career. Go out on a bang, man.
Yeah, look at
how is Glasgow on his list and Goff isn't? Yeah, how is Goff not? By the way, I know he's not winning, but like his stats still aren't like the worst. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, like the people are dropping me. That's messed up. Whatever that be. But yeah,
shout out by the way, AG's murder. Shout out Stick, man. We definitely saw the back and forth today with him and Spenny. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Spenny that's my guy. That's our guy, man.
Love Spenny, man. We were in a group chat today. We were just laughing. So we said, "Hey, there's something going on the show. We go turn it on." And Spenny's just going at Stick.
Yeah. Spenny's 1v2ing Neil and Stick and winning. I don't know. I mean, that's impressive stuff from our guy Spenmo Rax, man. That's
oh, dude, it is. And I love Neil so much. I love Stick so much, man. I love seeing the boys go at it. See, it's like I enjoy the little back and forth. Like that's how you get going in sports here, man. Especially with the Lions.
I mean, me and Neil have had our back and forth. I mean, we've had a lot of back.
Yeah, you guys have for sure.
But the thing I look at, and this is I know Neil very, very well. Neil is he will, and this is what I respect about Neil. When he has a take, he dies on it.
Yeah,
dies. He'll die on that take. His take has always been pro Brad Holmes, which is fine, but he's pro Brad Holmes no matter what.
Yeah.
You know what? Neil's a guy I want in my trench. I want a guy like that. He will never, ever, ever turn his back on me. I mean, that guy, no matter what Brad Holmes does.
To be fair,
they got an argument about the 2024 draft, and Neil was saying it was a good draft.
He was saying it was good because of Christian Mahogany. And though he was like, you got a 6th-round starter. But it was like, what about he's not even playing right now.
You don't even know if he's like a starter. He
hasn't even gotten like a Pro Bowl. He hasn't sniffed
it. He's a starter yet.
No one has a clue.
Yeah, he just started.
We do have Neil. We do have Neil in our corner, man. That man, he loves the boys.
Oh, he's a teammate. But
for sure.
It's like Neil, Taron Arnold. He's a CB2. So a CB2 and a potential starter is a good draft. I mean, what are we doing? I don't know. Yeah, shout out to Spenny.
I do think the 2024 drafting is ridiculous. And you know what? Like to Neil's, like you said, like respect to Neil. Neil will side on this Lions team or stick as well that they're going to make the playoffs until they are mathematically eliminated. Like they could get eliminated or be a game away from getting eliminated with 4 games left, and they have to go 4 straight. And you're like, it's impossible. This team can't do it. And like I know Stick texts me all the time about it, with just keeping like the faith of this, and he will go until the head is sliced off. You know what I mean? Like the lion is done until he's just finally like, all right, this wasn't the year. And they'd be like, well, we told you that 2 weeks ago. And he's like, I had to see it before.
Well, he'll react to it when it already happens. He doesn't. You know, if they miss the playoffs, then they'll react to it. But
that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Like he like die on the hill of it until it's like mathematically done. Once he sees the dead body on the ground, he's like, "Oh, he was dying." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's it's like him like walking in a room and a guy's like bleeding out, and he's like, "Oh, it's good, dude. You're good, dude. You're good.
Yeah.
You're good. You're bleeding out, but you're good." And then all of a sudden he dies, and he goes, "Oh no, you're not good." It's like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah, and then but Spenny, like the point Spenny was making about the Lions, and it's very simple. It's the old saying: if it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, it's probably a duck. You know, he's just calling it like he sees it. In this Lions team with the issues they have, it's like, yeah, they're not good enough to win a Super Bowl. I don't have a problem with that. He's calling it like he sees it, and yeah, it might be premature. They're not technically eliminated. And they could win this week, doesn't take away from the fact that there are major question marks. You know, there are major question marks, which we've spent a lot of time covering on this channel. And you guys know how we feel. I mean, we talked about it. Yesterday was a great show because we kind of dove into a lot of all that stuff. But yeah, we are, I mean, yeah, there's not too much. Even if they win this week, it's like, oh, people are going to hop back on the bandwagon. Not really. I mean, it'd be good. It'd be a good win. You beat the Cowboys, but
no, listen, I don't think too. And I'm just going to say this, and this is what I actually don't like. Once you get into like the Lions, like we cover them and we're fans, right? The thing I don't like is like if like I think national media and around the NFL, you could be like, don't hop on the bandwagon. If you're like a true Lions fan, or you're like cover the team, like if you're truly a Lions fan and you start to like for us like feel like that they can't get the job done, it's not hopping back on the bandwagon if they make the playoffs and you support them. Like I don't look at it that way, and I think a lot of Lions fans like this is why I think there's a problem in like sometimes the Lions like world here when it comes to the fan base compared to like other fan bases. Where like you look around to other fan bases like the Eagles, like they're booing their team and they've won 8 games. We're at 7. They've won 8 games and they're booing their team, right?
No, they're egging their offensive coordinator's house.
Yeah, it's like they're going at it, and it's like obviously like Lions fans shouldn't be doing that and they shouldn't be booing. But at the end of the day, it's like if there is just a little pushback in Lions Nation, like I think it's okay. Like it's not that big of a deal. Like the expectations this year was to win a Super Bowl, correct? That was like Super Bowl or bust. The fact that they're where they are right now and there's a chance in the next few weeks they get eliminated from the playoffs potentially, that should like really ruffle some feathers in this world, right? And as soon as you say something negative, be like, hey, like this is a problem. Like they are not living up to expectations. According to Kelvin Shepard, they're right where they want to be, which is a lie. But like they're so far away from that. So far. And the fact that like Lions fans, there's a group of Lions fans that get upset and tell other Lions fans hop off the bandwagon when they have any sort of pushback, I think it's one of the most ridiculous things in the world. Like, are people not allowed to have opinions and as well as cheer for the team? No, like that's the funnest part about being a fan is like being able to have that side of it. Hey, you guys suck right now. Brad Holmes, you did not have this team ready. Dan, you have been out-coached multiple times. Training staff, you guys have been bad this year. You're allowed to do that. Yeah. Right? And like AG's burner, boom, you do that too. I have done that in the past. I haven't done it to where I say, hey, as a fan base, you're not allowed to be a fan of the team. Hop off. Like I've done it for national media. Like I don't think like that's where I think it's a little different, Jeff. Like I think national media and people outside of the state, if you haven't been a fan of the Lions and you're just gonna hop on and hop off and keep doing that back and forth on the bandwagon, like no, like you shouldn't be able to do that. But if you're a fan, man, you have been your whole life. Like if you're telling someone to, they can't have those opinions, come on. Now I kind of do see now why Doc last year he tried teaching me a lesson to stop telling fans to calm down. Now I see it a little bit. I understand.
Yeah, you're seeing the light.
Full circle moment for my life.
Fan is short for fanatic. People are fanatics. Sometimes there's extremes like egging your OC's house like Eagles fans are doing. Should not be going that far.
Can I be honest? I don't condone that. Dude, love it. Like, dude, that is, I mean, they care. If I was the OC, if I was the OC, honestly, in the back of my head, I'd be like, yeah, that sucks. I'd be like, I need to be better. I love this. This fan base loves this team.
You're thinking you're lucky it was just eggs. I mean, you don't know what people are. There's crazy people out there.
Yeah, that's true. I guess so.
I mean, I'm like, well, I'd be if you're the OC, you're like, I love this. They have expectations.
I can see why maybe there's like some safety concerns.
Yeah, they have his house. I mean,
look at it. I'm just more so saying like I love the fact that the fans are passionate.
Oh, well, Philly fans are crazy. They're absolutely crazy. But they freak out if they lose a game. I mean, they're just a whole nother. That's why I'm like, people think the Lions fans are bad.
Oh, I mean, they're booing. I mean, like they just won a Super Bowl, and they're booing, and they're 8-4. We're 7-5, and we're having like a little pushback, and other fans are like, "You are such a bad fan. Why are you questioning this team?" Go look at Philly, dude. They just won a Super Bowl. They've been to multiple Super Bowls the last 2 or 3 years. They've won multiple in the last 10 years, and they're booing their team at 8-4. Talk about being like having some sort of standard in your life. Welcome to the real world of having a standard. Shout out to Stick, but Stick's like, hey man, like what happened to these Lions fans that like went through it and losing all the time? And all of a sudden we're eating off a gold plate? Yeah, because you're supposed to be good and you suck. I loved Spenny's thing where he was like, I'm sitting in the penthouse in the Bellagio, and instead of getting a porterhouse, they're bringing me Salisbury steak. And I want a porterhouse.
Yeah.
That was perfect from Spenny. That's one of the best analogies I've ever heard about this football team. It's like, dude, there is an expectation. That's why I hate when Brad and Dan sit up on the podium and they like act like fans and media are just idiots. It's like, you're like, we're playing the long-term game. Dude, you were in the NFC Championship game 2 years ago. It wasn't this year. You've gone backwards since going to the NFC Championship game. That's the truth.
Yep.
You've gone backwards.
And again, I'm fully aware it's not always linear, but it's not supposed to look like
you're not supposed to go backwards.
Yeah, you're
Look
not
at the Eagles.
It's not always linear, but from making an NFC Championship game to not winning a playoff game to potentially missing the playoffs is a little different and more extreme than just it's not linear. I won't take that excuse. Now, for all the SOL people out there, there are some Lions players that were made available today. What do we think about this, guys? Texans waived veteran guard Lakeland Tomlinson. Good old Lakeland Tomlinson.
I want to see something real quick.
The team and Tomlinson were said to come to a decision today that he will go on waivers.
Lions won't get him.
Former 49er? Yep, he is now on the waiver wire. The Lions are what on the waiver wire? Probably.
There's no way he gets to the Lions, right? I mean, the Lions are dead
Adam
last.
Thielen just went to the Steelers.
By the way, the Adam Thielen thing, let's stick with this, but I just want to throw this out there. Poor Adam Thielen. The man said, he asked the Vikings, just said, hey, this is my last. He announced yesterday he was retiring, and he asked the Vikings, like, hey, I just want to get on a team that's going to be in the playoffs. I want a chance to win a Super Bowl. Steelers pick him up. Like, how ridiculous is that from the Steelers to be like, that feels selfish, in my opinion. Steelers should have let him go to a contender.
It's kind of an unwritten rule.
Yeah.
You know, you're not really supposed to do that shit, especially for a vet. He's supposed to be able to clear waivers, pick where he wants to go. You're not really. I think that's kind of an unwritten rule.
I wonder if he like agreed with the Steelers and was like, yeah, I'll go there. But like they obviously probably maybe had to have a conversation with him. But either way, like they're not going to make the playoffs. They're not going to win a Super Bowl. That's ridiculous for them.
No. But there's a guard. There's two people available that I've been hearing.
Would you take Lakeland Tomlinson first off?
I mean, I would. I mean, I guess. Is he better than Yodi? I mean, let's see. We love PFF, right? For offensive linemen.
Yeah,
we can agree on that.
We do enjoy PFF grades for the O-line.
Okay, so he's been really bad this year.
Okay, yeah, no, we're out then.
Now, last year he was better. So I don't know. Maybe it's situation. I don't know. He's 33 years old. He's all right. I mean, I don't think this would move the needle. Probably just be depth, if anything. But
yeah, experience. He has experience, I guess. Is a positive.
I believe he was on the 49ers as well. He was better then.
Can he play center?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, that was kind of a joke. I definitely don't think he can.
No, he can't. Now, hear me out. TA on IR.
Yeah, I know who you're going with this one.
TA on IR. Darius Slay. Come on. Bring him home. Thoughts?
I think it would be cool, like a homecoming for him.
CB2?
It's been good. Our guy Hanch sits in the chat all the time. He sits next to me. I work with him. He's a Steelers fan. He grew up a Steelers fan. Huge Steelers. He was happy, a sigh of relief when Darius Slay got waived today. And they let him go because and I was like, I don't watch Steelers games here and there. I do if they're prime time. I was like, has he been that bad? He's like, every single time that there is a catch against the Steelers, you can guess it's on Darius Slay. So I think the age has just caught up to him. I love Darius Slay, man. Like, obviously we've, been places where we've had opportunities to meet him or, he's worked with our past place for charity.
He's
great dude in Detroit. Detroit loves him. He's gone to high school football games here. He loves the city. I just don't know if it's like when you come in or you bring in and you're like, yeah, he's going to really move the needle for you. Like, I would rather, this is going to sound so crazy, throw Rock Yassin in there.
I don't think that's crazy. He's playing good football.
Yeah, I think he right now is probably playing better than Darius Slay.
You know where I think he goes? Rams. Play with Matthew Stafford. They need a corner.
Do they?
Yeah, Emmanuel Forbes. Listen, that's my guy.
He's been so good though.
But against the Panthers, he was so bad.
Oh, okay.
He gave up 2 4th down touchdowns.
No.
4th down touchdowns, bro. Like not like touchdowns. 2 4th down touchdowns. He's been inconsistent. He probably could use quarter depth.
Does Akello Witherspoon play at all?
The only when you say Akello Witherspoon, I think of Amon-Ra routing him up in the playoff game every time I think of that name. I don't know if he plays or not. So I think he goes to the Rams. To be honest with you, that's probably a move that he goes. But yeah, he's not going to come to the Lions. None of these guys are coming to the Lions. It's not. They're not. It's not going to happen. I know people are, especially on the Tomlinson one. People are like, "Bring him home. Bring the big fella home." It's like, yeah.
Are any of these moves going to actually move the needle to give you an opportunity to make the playoffs?
It's not. There's no move. No.
I don't think it does, man.
Unless,
as much as we want it.
I don't know.
Huh.
It can't happen. But if magically the NFL just turned a blind eye and Frank Ragnow's injury healed and he can come back, and then Zadarius Smith unretired and he could come back and
trade for Kevin Zeitler. Oh, no trade deadline. Right.
And then Calvin Zeitler. Calvin Johnson came out of retirement and was all of a sudden in his prime, and then Barry Sanders came back. I mean, you probably would need a little bit of help here.
Robert Porchet,
Yeah, you would need. Yeah, you would. Yeah.
You had Lomas Brown at left tackle.
Yeah.
TJ Lang comes back.
TJ Lang comes back. Yeah, he plays some guard. Yeah, you're gonna need. Yeah, that would be, if you want a path. There's your path. That's how it goes.
Yeah, I don't think there's a path, to be honest.
By the way, Weezy D, get out of here with that, man. Get out of here with this.
AQM, Weezy D, has anyone out? Can we do something in the chat real quick? We have 100 people in here. First off, hit the like button because it pushes the boys out.
This comment's criminal, man.
Yeah, okay, let's do this real quick. I want to actually ask a question, Jeff, about AQM. Everyone that's watching right now, throw this in the chat. Do you remember seeing AQM on the football field in the last 4 games? Put a yes or a no. Because I'm gonna do it right now. No, I do not remember seeing them. I forgot what number he wears. I don't remember seeing AQM on the field once in the last 4 games. And he's probably had about 90 snaps in that time. I don't remember seeing him. So I want everyone, this is a team project. Everyone participate and put in the comment section, yes or no. Because I want to know. Because I'm guessing there's majority no's, Jeff.
Well, I would say so he's had, let me check. So according to PFF, he's had the last 4 games, let's see, 0 quarterback hits. He's had a couple hurries. No sacks.
I was about to say, did our chat die? We just got about straight 5 no's.
Yeah, he hasn't really done much last couple games, man.
No. Jay Hart said 96, unfortunately. I thought it was number 69.
Yeah, he hasn't done much. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
No. Shop the VTG. Shout out our guy. Haven't heard his name. Nope, that's crazy. No. Sorry, Brad, cooked you all again.
That's right. He hasn't done anything.
No.
Last 4 games.
Who? Oh, 69's Ratledge. Sorry. See, I don't even know these numbers because AQM hasn't done anything.
Yeah, I saw AQM on a milk carton. I mean, that's a correct comment. AQM.
I think I did see AQM doing a commercial.
Marcus Davenport didn't do anything last game either, so they're just not. It's just how it goes, man. Aleem was better. He got pressure, but they didn't get any sacks. So
I did see TJ Lang tweet out, and it was after I kind of went on my rant about Aleem. I don't know if TJ Lang watches our show. He may or not. But like, it was literally like, remember last week or on Friday, we did the show Friday morning. I went on the Aleem rant, and within the next hour, TJ Lang's tweeting out, Ali McNeil was the best football player on the field on Thursday. I was like, I feel there's a chance maybe he watches and was like, but like, come on. Was he? Played like he was getting pressure.
I will say in the game he had some pressures. He was probably the only player besides Hutch doing anything, and they weren't able to sack Jordan Love. So ultimately, it didn't really. They weren't able to bring him down. You know, I think that was the big thing. You weren't able to bring him down. And sometimes, man, like I think people have a hard time understanding or deciphering that differentiating between pressure and sacks. You can pressure a quarterback and there's still a big play.
Yeah.
You know, there's not all pressures are created equal. There's some that are, you're in a quarterback's face, you know, and it's a missed throw, interception. Jordan Love was back there chilling, man. He made a cup of coffee. He kicked his feet up on the coffee table. You know, he turned on, you know,
he had some, are they called trinkets in England or biscuits?
Screw it. He was eating biscuits and gravy. He was eating. He had time to eat, drink his coffee. You know, he was chilling, man. He was chilling.
So disappointing. I did see an article, Jeff, today or in the last couple of days, and like the main point of it was crumpets. That's what it is. The main part of the article, like the headline of it, was the Detroit Lions are creating a ton of pressure, and it was like ... and it was just like, and then it was something like, but they're taking too long to get to do it or something. Like it's like it's basically what they're saying is just like they are getting so much pressure, some of the most pressure in the NFL, but they're taking like 3 or 4 seconds to get the pressure, and they're allowing quarterbacks just to sit there and be like,
yeah,
you know, that's a problem, man. It's a problem. And even when like Shep and like if people want to disagree with us, that's fine. Like that's up to you. But when your DC's going into the media and people are asking like, hey, how do you contain quarterbacks more? How do you get more pressure? How do you scheme this out? He's like, we're not scheming anything up because we can't. The last 4 weeks, we haven't created anything. Like we haven't created any pressure. We haven't disrupted a quarterback. When your DC is saying that, you know there's a problem.
Yeah, it's straight from the source.
Like this isn't us making it up.
No, he's saying it. Like AQM, man, like I've said it. I don't mind. Jokes aside, like AQM I think is good in a rotational role with a way better starter than Marcus Davenport. I think he would be really good if you had a true edge too that was productive and consistent. You don't need Hutch. You don't need another Hutch, but someone that was just more consistent. I think AQM would be a good complementary piece. You know, but he's just you're relying too much on a guy who's the reality is he's bounced around the NFL. And Marcus Davenport, who can't stay healthy. That's the reality. We've talked about it. It's just that's the problem. And people have a hard time understanding. By the way, this is the thing too, like with Weezy's comment earlier about Jared Verse and AQM. There's a thing called the eye test. It's very important. Their stats. This is why we go out Sam Flannel. Sam Flannel's actually come a long way because early in Sam's career, a lot of it was stats. And then Sam started learning the eye test. And now Sam likes to factor in a little bit of that eye test as well. If you put the tape of Jared Verse next to the tape of AQM, it would look night and day. Night and day. But then if you look at the sacks, they're similar. Stats don't always tell the full story, my friends. Okay? They don't. Let's be real here. How many sacks does Hayden Hutchinson have? Like, what does he have? 8.5? Something like that? I think AQM's like a sack and a half behind him. You think he's about that much behind?
How many does AQM have?
I actually don't know. I'm just making. I think he has like 6 or 7.
I got you. 1.5, 2.5, 3.5. He has 6.
How many does Hutch have? 8.5.
Let me see. I went about this the whole wrong way. Hold on. Sorry. I should just went to the Lions stats. I typed into Google AQM. I didn't even put his full name in there. Sacks leaders: 8.5 for Hutch, 6 for AQM. Okay.
So think about that.
Like, let's be realistic though. James Houston has 4.5 in Dallas. Like, what are we talking about here?
My point being is like, is Aiden? So Aiden's what? 2 sacks, basically, roughly around 2.5 sacks from AQM. He is significantly better than AQM though.
Yeah. No. You know what? Hey, according to some of these people in the chat, AQM is only a sack and a half worse than Hutch. Like skill wise, he's almost on the same level as Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, like the sacks are not even, dude.
Come on, dude. What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'll tell you what.
That's ridiculous. What are we talking about? What?
I got some clips here from Dan Campbell. I do wanted to discuss. He had the updates on Amon-Ra, Khalif. He talked about Taron Arnold. Also spoke about the position the Lions are in. All great clips from his press conference today. I'll play those after I tell you guys about our friends over at Sleeper. We'll see you in a minute. I've interrupted the video to tell you about our friends over at Sleeper in the new promotion they have going on. A brand new promotion is now live on Sleeper that could be paired with the 100% deposit match promotion that's already been going on. It's a free $20, no deposit required, plus first-time users will also receive 100% deposit match up to $100. Use the code CT Sports. You guys should already be using Sleeper. It's one of the fastest organically growing fantasy platforms in the entire world with millions and millions of active users. They are crushing it. And if your state allows it, you should be using Sleeper Picks. It's a real money product that connects friends over picks. You just choose 2 to 8 of your favorite players from pregame live or across different sports. Pick more or less than the predicted stats. And on Sleeper, you can get up to 1,000x payouts. Share with your friends. Get rewarded together. Don't forget, code CT Sports. Get a $100 deposit up to $100, and you got your free $20 entry. Sleeper is taking care of their customers. Always remember, gamble responsibly. Now let's get back to the video. All right, let's play some footage here. Dan Campbell spoke to the media, gave an update on Amon-Ra St. Brown, Khalif, talked about TA, talked about the position the Lions are in. Let's play the clip here talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown and Khalif Raymond and see what those guys are up to here.
I just want to ask about Amon-Ra, just how's he progressing? How close is he?
He's better. He's better. That's the best way to say it. But I don't see him practicing today, but he is better, So I know this about if he can play, he'll play. That's the best way to say it.
Is he close to getting back at all too?
Yeah, he's getting better, but I don't see him this week.
I just want to ask about Amon-Ra.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. I know that's been like a theme too, and I don't know if you guys listen to Amon-Ra St. Brown speak to the media. You kind of echoed a lot of the same stuff of what Dan Campbell talked about, which essentially is if he's ready to play, he'll play. I'll just be real. I don't see Amon-Ra St. Brown playing. I think they're just doing it for game plan reasons. I think Dallas,
I didn't even think of that.
I think they're just keeping him. It's coming off as he's questionable, and they probably told Amon-Ra, don't give anything away. Like, just say you're gonna, you're working towards getting back, so that way Dallas has to game plan for having Amon-Ra, and he's not actually going to play. There's no way he plays. He sprained. It seemed like a high ankle sprain. He said it was worse than the ankle sprain he had like a year or two ago, and there's just no way that in the pain he was in, he comes back a week later. And you got to think about all the stuff that Amon-Ra St. Brown does, how physical he plays, run blocking, the route running, the sharp cuts. I don't see him playing this week. I don't. I think the Lions are going to probably err on the side of caution and just be like, hey, man, he gets 10 days off after this. Let's just try and beat Dallas at home. Let's have him back healthier going into LA because God forbid tweak something with that ankle. He's out for the year. They're probably going to be a little more safe, in my opinion, with Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's just I could be completely wrong. It's just a feeling I get. I don't see him playing this quick of a turnaround. He missed practice. It's only been a week. Oh, it's going to be a week. I don't see that ankle injury he's ready to cut and make sharp cuts in a week, and run the full route tree.
The game is in 2 days and he didn't practice today. I would think at least maybe you're looking at like, hey, there would be a limited practice. My guess is he's going to end up being questionable tomorrow. When the game report comes out, and then potentially just out on Thursday when the 90 minutes before the game time, when the final injury report comes out. But I'm kind of with you. I didn't even think about that, like a game plan thing. There was a side of me today. I don't know, like obviously Dan being like, hey, if he can play, like Amon-Ra is going to make sure he plays. Like if there's any chance of him playing, like we're not going to be able to hold him out. I don't know. Like, I do actually think, Jeff, and I know what you're saying because I agree with you. Like, you don't want it to get worse. And if you could somehow win this game without him, that's very helpful because you get him back next week versus LA. I don't see it. Like, my only thing is with Amon-Ra, he's just one of those guys where, like, he's going to play through everything. You got to think like last year, he had like I don't even know what it was, like a broken clavicle or something. I don't even know if that's a thing, but he had something where it was, it comes out in the show wide receiver, and everyone's like, how is this guy playing through that? And he played a whole season and was first team all pro with it. So I think Amon-Ra's like one of those, he's just one of those dudes where he'll play through stuff. And I think there's a chance knowing Amon-Ra. I think if it was most other players, maybe not, but I think the fact that it is Amon-Ra, I'm not going to be like, hey, it's a 0% chance. Like I'm still giving it 15, 20% chance you see Amon-Ra on Thursday night. And that's just because of who he is. That man has played. I mean, you got to think, dude, he had a foot, hand, mouth, like, and it was essentially he had just rashes all over him. And he said every time he walked, it felt like he was getting stabbed with nails in his feet. And he went out there and played a full game in like long sleeves, and he was like, I had like 100-degree fever. And he was like, had long sleeves on, a ski mask on, the legs, like, and he went out there and played in that. So like, this is a guy who like, he will play if you need him. So I wouldn't be shocked if he just like, if his ankle gets to like 60, 70% and he's like, I will be a decoy out there. Because honestly, like a decoy Amon-Ra, if you act like all week, hey, he's getting better, he's good to go, and you throw him out there, yeah, I mean, he might get 4 or 5 targets, but just him out there as a decoy is probably better than some other guys out there, if I'm just being completely honest with you.
Yeah.
Taking defenders away, right? Like you have to, even if he's hurt, you have to be aware and account for an Amon-Ra St. Brown at all times.
Yeah, I know. I see what you're saying. I wouldn't be shocked if he plays. I hope he does. They're kind of in a position. It's must win. So
yeah,
if he can play, he's going to play. I mean, that's just how it goes with him. And he's tough. And the TA stuff's unfortunate too. It's another guy that's been battling injuries all year. And Dan kind of went into the shoulder injury specifically and where it stemmed from. I thought it had to do with maybe the hit he took or he gave out in that Packers game. But here's Dan Campbell on TA's injury and what that's about.
Terrion, is it the same shoulder that was giving him problems earlier in the year? And if so, when did it start bothering him again? When did you kind of make the decision to shut him down?
Yeah, yes, it is. And it's, it's been there. I mean, it's not like it went away. And it, bothered him in this game a little bit. So just felt like, it was something needed to be done.
Terrion, is it the same shoulder?
Because you got to think too, Amik's your cornerback too, but he's technically your nickel. So I don't know. They probably, if they do have a nickel, they'll probably have Rock Yassin playing that CB2 and Amik playing nickel. I mean, but to be fair and defend Rock, he's been actually playing pretty well. So hopefully, he just got to hold it down at this point.
Yeah, last week, but the thing was though, like even last week, he had like 2 snaps, I think. Rock Yassin. And it was like, and that was like Amik was kind of getting cooked through the game. I was shocked they didn't go with Rock Yassin a little bit more.
It is a different matchup. He thrived against AJ Brown. AJ Brown's more of a physical receiver. Now he's got CeeDee Lamb, which he's just the guy can run every single route. He's fluid. I mean, that's a tough matchup. It's probably like DJ Reed handling him. And then you have George Pickens. He can run any route. I mean, he has a huge catch radius as well. So I don't know. I think you'd probably throw Rock on George Pickens, to be honest with you. It's probably his matchup more so. These are early thoughts. But I guess it ain't going to matter if you can't get to the quarterback. So that's probably the more important point of that. But yeah, it sucks for TA, man. He's just battled injuries all year. You haven't really you saw flashes of what he can be this year, but
yeah, I will say this
all year, man. I mean,
based off of what the training camp, I mean, when we were at camp, dude, we were coming back to the show after training camps to be like, hey, TA looked like he's about to have a huge year. I know I said I thought if he stayed healthy and it looked like, and I'll stand on this, and I think you're kind of there with me, maybe not as far, but I'll stand on it. Like what we saw of him in training camp, and I know it's different, like what you see in training camp to actually the game. But like what I saw at training camp, like I genuinely thought like he could have been a Pro Bowl corner. Like the energy, the way he was playing, even in the joint practices, like he was going up against Jalen Waddle, like he's going up against good players, and then you're going like, hey man, like TA looks legit. Like he looks like a first round corner. at training camp, and then all of a sudden it was like you got to the game. There was no translation from the practice field to the game field, and like you saw like and I hope people realize this, like the spurts that you saw of TA in a positive aspect, like those plays where he is getting past deflections and breakups, and he's making big plays and good tackles, like that was what you saw at training camp 100% of the time, and that's when you see that and you go, this is a dude, like that's a dude. So I think like this year, like based off what we saw at training camp, him being a first round draft pick and the expectations going into this season, very disappointing season for TA, man. Like super. And I know like injuries you can't like, sometimes you have no control, but either way, just it's disappointing, man. It's the same thing with any other player you draft, like a Josh Pascal or someone like that. It's like, yeah, you're supposed to be good. Couldn't stay healthy. Like, that's the case for him this year.
Could you imagine Will Johnson?
Oh my, we passed on him maybe twice. He didn't go he went like 60, didn't he? 60 something to Arizona.
Yeah. Yep.
We thought maybe there was a chance we get Will Johnson because he did have an injury. Imagine last year you don't go Ennis Rakestraw. And this year you could say, all right, since we
Dude, Will Johnson's been a top 15, top 20 corner this year.
He's been so good in Arizona.
He's been
extremely good.
He's a second-round pick, by the way, Ennis Rakestraw.
That's what I'm saying. That was my point. It's imagine last year you don't go Ennis, and you don't try and reach on Ennis, and then the next year, hey, you have a chance to get Will Johnson in that spot.
I can't believe he fell. That was a home run pick for anyone. I don't know why he fell in the draft. It didn't make any sense.
Was that injuries, dude? That's why sometimes the injuries are it's ridiculous with some. I was actually talking today to Hanch because obviously we go to the combine, Jeff, and I feel like me and you and Klotz, like when we're there the last 2 years, there's guys that get, and I know we're like, hey, it's the pajama Olympics or whatever they call it, or the underwear Olympics. Like, don't get too excited about it. Looking back at some of the guys, I was looking at it today, the guys that have been hyped up at the combine, like, do you remember the running back that was hyped up at the combine this last year out of Rutgers? Kyle Monangai. And he was like, everyone at the combine in the running back group was like, Kyle Monangai's having a day. Look at him now. 6th or 7th round pick, and he's very good for the Bears.
There's talk, man. You hear it. You hear it there. That's how it goes.
Will Johnson, man, he's a player. Just because he's hurt, man, go get a player, dude. Draft players.
So before Sam Flannel joins, I want to get to our power rankings because this might be the first week where there's it's actually a conversation. The Lions, are they a top 10 team in the NFL? Now we get to have that conversation. Are they a top 10? Because before it's like, they're in the top 10, just matters on where they are. Now it's like, are they a top 10 team in the NFL? And me and you are going to answer that question. And then we're going to have Sam Flannel join Flannel Sam. And he's going to join the show. We're going to talk about a bunch of things as it pertains to the Lions. But our top 10 Tuesdays, we've been doing them for a while. Or the Lions a top 10 team. You want to go first?
I'll let you go first because I'll say this. You better have the Lions in your top 10.
Well, they are not. Here's my top 10. These are, honestly, should be a universal top 10. Teams, at least. But I have different, I don't know, we probably have different teams and where they're ranked. But this is how the ranking should go.
You're missing one team.
This is what I think, all right? The Lions are not a top 10 team to answer the question. Patriots are the number one team in football. They're playing lights out. They've won like 7 straight. And to be fair, I'm consistent with what I say. I'm always consistent. What did I say with the Bears? Because we can say, well, their schedule stinks. You know, they're beating these teams. Patriots are not beating teams close, but they've had they've had the easiest schedule the entire time.
I think they actually have like almost in the history of the NFL. I'm pretty sure I read that today.
So, but They've won like 8 straight. I'm giving them credit, bro. They're the hottest team in
10.
football right now, just like the Bears were. I'm going to see where the Bears are on your list.
10 straight, by the way, for the Patriots.
Yep, 10 straight games. Number 2, the Rams drop. I mean, you lose to the Panthers. And by the way, this is what makes the Rams interesting. That game was a weird one. The Rams Matthew Stafford had 3 turnovers. That was the difference. Matthew, the MVP, is the reason why they lost. He shit the bed. He had a pick six, a pick, another pick, and a fumble that ended the game at the end. So, you know what's crazy?
He broke the record. He broke the record for most touchdown passes consecutive without an interception in NFL history. Next possession, interception.
Oh, are you serious?
Next possession breaks Tom Brady's record. 28 straight touchdown passes, no interception. Very next possession.
Now, this is where I think it gets interesting. I have the Bears over the Packers. They are the hotter team. They're coming off a big win, dominating the Eagles in Philly. That's got to mean something. All right. And the Packers, they're going to play the Bears twice in the next couple weeks. I don't know what's going to happen. And this is where it gets tricky with these power rankings because I base it on a team, how they're playing right now. The Packers are, over the last couple games, they still look kind of shaky. They've had some weird games, but they beat the Lions, which is really impressive. For them, obviously, that's a big one. They swept the Lions this year. But the Bears have looked – they've won so many games consecutively, and now they just beat the Eagles when everyone said their schedule was a cakewalk. So I'm giving the Bears the edge, man. They're playing good football. They deserve, in my opinion, to be top 5 right now. And they're going to play each other, so you'll have the answer. Okay, you'll have the answer to that question. And then after, I have the Eagles, 49ers. I have the 49ers on this list at 8. They're playing really good ball right now. I think and by the way, I got to give a ton of credit. 49ers coaching staff, bravo. That's coaching staff of the year. Not coach of the year.
Yeah, with the injuries.
They've
done a great job.
Coaching their ass off in San Fran, and they're doing a fantastic job. So they're doing, and they kind of know what they are. Brock Purdy's not that. He's all right. They're running the ball, playing good defense. That's just kind of what they are, So 9, the Bills, and 10, I have the Colts. Colts lose 2 straight. I think Daniel Jones' injury is much more serious than they're leading on. He's got like a fractured leg.
Yeah, dude. I don't know how all of a sudden they're just like, hey, he's fractured leg. He's fibula or something. They're like, hey,
he can't move. He can't move.
A fracture is like a break. But I will say this though, Jeff. I don't know if you saw it. I will say whatever he has wrong with his leg, some of the throws that Daniel Jones made, like the touchdown passes, incredible. Him making those with the fractured fibula. I don't know if you saw some of them. Daniel Jones,
still hanging in there.
I'll tell you what, this guy, Daniel Jones, I said it when he was in Minnesota and then going into this year. The reason I like the Colts a lot was because I think Daniel Jones gets a bad rep based off of New York situation, and it was just a really bad situation. I thought Daniel Jones is talented. He's very good. He's very good. That means being very good, not being no good. No, he's very good. He's a very good football player. Very good football player.
Now, for the people in the chat, I see it: Texans, Cowboys, Lions. They're on the bubble for me. The reason why I gave the Colts the edge is I'm not going to say that I can't take them off the top 10 yet. They're hanging on. Depending on what happens this week, I can see the Texans jumping them. I can see, especially that defense, CJ Stroud's back. If the Cowboys win this week against the Lions, they're in. I couldn't do it yet. Those teams got 7 wins and 6 wins. The Colts have 8. They've been really hot this year. They lose 2 straight.
I don't think the Texans I think Texans are maybe 11th right now.
Yeah,
because they won 4 straight, man. You do give them credit, and they've beaten 2 pretty good teams. But I think you still have to kind of understand. They have to make their way back to that. You can't just automatically be like, oh no, they're there. You have to kind of work your way back up. In my opinion.
I like that defense is the best.
The best. Yeah, I agree.
Crazy defense. All right, Boone. We agree on the Colts at 10. We agree on.
People might have thought I had the Lions in there. They are no longer in my top 10. First time this season. Detroit Lions are out of it. They're probably right now, I would say 13 to 15. That's probably where I'll throw them. And I think that's fair. I don't think that's a bad.
I would put the Texans and the Cowboys over them.
I agree. Yeah, and even like honestly, like the Chiefs, the Chiefs. I know they're not playing great, but I mean, they both like Lions and Chiefs aren't playing great, and they played each other a few weeks ago, and the Chiefs won. So it's like even you can argue the Chiefs right now could be over the Lions. So they're probably 13 to 15th. Me and you, honestly, we have very similar. I think the only thing. So obviously, I have the Patriots at 1. I think the thing with the Patriots, they've won 10 straight. I brought up to you that they have like one of the worst or easiest schedules in NFL history. So I threw them there. The Rams, you have them as that. Well, it was weird. I actually saw Dan O say it, or someone said it today on the McAfee show. It was like as soon as like, the Rams kind of take over the number 1 spot in the NFL, they slip up and lose. And it was like, that's just what this season feels like. Anytime a team kind of takes over and you're like, oh, they're back, they slip up. And I know the Panthers aren't bad, but dude, Jeff, that's a game you got to win. Like you can't.
Yeah, they beat themselves.
You can't be the number 1 team in the NFL and losing to the Panthers, and I hate it. But in the Patriots, man, they've won 11 games already. Like it's incredible. So you got to give them the credit for there. Broncos. I think you had the Seahawks and the Broncos switch. You know what? I could probably have that switch too because
I just think they're playing better ball right now.
Yeah, that's the only reason I didn't switch them, and I've been, and it's shocking because I've been trying to preach the Seahawks to you for the last 3 weeks, and you have been ignoring me, and I'm like, tell you the Seahawks
they're
are
still going to fold like a pumpkin.
Yeah, you're like Sam Darnold's not a contender. I probably could have had him switch
against the Vikings, by the way.
Yeah. They kicked like 10 field goals. It was insane. Honestly, they could have like went for every 4th down and won that game still by like 50 points.
Oh, dude,
it was embarrassing for the Vikings. Bears. I think. Listen, I don't think there's a question right now. The Bears are better than the Packers. I really do believe that. Like, I think they play this. Is it this week they play?
Yeah, they actually play. I think twice in the next 3 weeks.
In the 3 weeks, yeah. Let me do something because I genuinely do believe this. I think the Bears would be favored. I actually do think. Like if I had to put my money on it,
it'll probably be based on where it's at home.
I think either way, I think the Bears are favored.
Really?
Yeah. Oh wow. Guess the line.
Where's it at?
It's in Green Bay. Guess the line. Close your eyes. Don't look at this chat. Close your eyes.
I would say minus 2.5.
Who?
Green Bay.
Minus 6.5. I'm taking the Bears heavy. Minus 6.5. Give me the Bears plus 6.5 this week. I think they win that game outright. I do. I think the Bears right now are playing just great.
They're 6.5 at home, so they're getting 3 already as it is.
Yeah. So they think the Packers are that good. I like this Bears team. I actually do think. I know we hate to say it. Bears team's really good. They really are. Packers are the Packers. We know what they are. We just saw them. The Eagles. Listen, I almost want to throw the Eagles lower. They've lost back to back, but like I lowered them 2 weeks ago, Jeff, after a win, and you were like, "What are you doing?" I just think like there's something wrong with this squad, dude. I know they're 8-4 or whatever it is, but it's like an 8-4 where you're like, if they didn't have the talent they had, they would be like 4-8. Honestly, like they just are not playing good football. It's really weird to watch. I'll tell you this too, Jeff, like the Bills, 49ers, I get you had the 49ers above the Bills. My only argument is this. I said the 49ers were going to win the division at the beginning of the season because of their schedule. So I'm going to be consistent. I didn't put them above the Bills because I think the Bills have beaten better teams. 49ers have had every time they faced a good team the last 6-7 weeks, they've lost. Like it's essentially, you know what I mean? Like they beat the Browns, Panthers, Cardinals, played the Rams, got beat by 20. Beat the Giants, played the Texans, a good defense, got beat by 11. You see what I'm saying? Like played the Bucks, got beat by 11. They did beat the Rams, but that was like early on, and same with the Seahawks. So that's just kind of my argument with them.
That's fair.
So, but yeah, and then the Bills. I mean, I think the Bills are kind of. I don't want to say they're back, but that win they just had was a good win over the Steelers. That was an impressive win.
All over the Steelers.
Yeah, if they play like that this year, like if the Bills take this momentum from that Steelers game, I would be like it's going to be a Bills-Rams Super Bowl.
I mean, we could talk about the Lions not addressing positions. The Bills they need to get Josh Allen a number 1 receiver, man. Like they can't figure that out, dude. I mean, Keon Coleman's a bust. I mean, he's
so bad. I mean, he was a healthy scratch 2 straight weeks, and then he finally gets a touchdown this week. It was off a tipped pass.
He's a bust.
Yeah.
So they've been doing him dirty, dude. I mean, they need to get him a number 1.
Brandon Bean. What does he do? What does he do during the combine instead of getting wide receivers for his quarterback? Come on, Jeff, tell me.
He's out there. He's out in the streets, man.
We see Brandon Bean. We at the combine. I turn a corner, Brandon Bean. Is it Beam or Bean? Beam?
Bean.
Bean?
Bean, yeah. Beane.
Everywhere. I mean, dude, we're in this hotel lobby. Oh, Brandon Bean. Oh, this hotel, Brandon Bean. And he's doing everything. It feels like butt working, which he's probably working, but it's like, where is this guy going to look at talent? Like, what is this guy? I love him. I think he's a good GM outside of that, but it's just funny. It's like you just keep turning the corner. It's like, oh, Brandon, hey, dude, like, it's like 1 a.m. We're at the bar. Look over, Brandon P. We're like, dude, what? You have to go get your MVP quarterback a receiver.
There is something in the air. We when we were at the hotel bar and we were hanging out, we ran into Mike McDonald, and the Seahawks are good. So something about being there. Maybe Mike McDonald was he
was having a night, man. Yeah, we were just standing there shoulder to shoulder with Mike McDonald, like looking like what's happening right now.
Wink was there. Like it was random as hell. Wink was.
I mean, how about that meetup? It was Wink. It was our guy. Who's the special teams coordinator? The one that everyone loves. That was Sean Payton, the Broncos. Everyone loves him. He's like.
Rizzy?
It's like a Z. Rizzy, Coach Rizzy. Yeah, Rizzy was there. That was probably that little circle there where we're standing there, and there's like a circle of Mike McDonald. Brandon Bean's like right around the corner. You got Coach Rizzy there. You've got Wink Martindale there. Everyone's just sitting there having some drink. It's like
that's a weird blunt rotation.
Our guy from the Lions, our quarterback, and then you turn the corner and we sit there. We talk to Josh McCown for 15 minutes. And it's like whoa.
Mm-hmm.
What a world we're living in right now. I can't wait to go back to the combine. That's like
Bruce Grodkowski.
Bruce, yeah. Shout out to Bruce, man.
Yeah. Cool, great guy, man.
That whole week. I look forward to that week every year. And the fact I texted you a month ago. I said we got to get a hotel. And every year we've gone, we've added an extra day.
Dude, we might just move there. Honestly.
Shout out Klotz to his guy Bruce.
Let's bring on our guy, Flannel Sam, former host of Morning Woodward Show and former host of Wake Up Woodward. He joins us as a contributor every single week to talk Detroit sports.
Oh.
But before we do that,
what a tease, dude.
Allow me to tell you about our friends over at Prestige Worldwide. We'll see you in a minute. I've interrupted the show to tell you about our friends over at Prestige Worldwide Vending. State-of-the-art vape vending machines that can boost sales to any venue, business owners, or anyone that has an establishment that customers are coming in and out of. Prestige Worldwide Vending can help not only attract new customers, but keep customers inside your establishment. Nicotine users that leave to go get nicotine, it'll be right in the place they're at. 32-inch touchscreen, customizable advertisement, which is sweet, by the way. Age verification software to scan IDs confirming age, pre-sale if required. You can pay cash, credit, debit, or mobile. Mobile payments are also accepted, and you get paid when they get paid. It's a win-win. You make your customers happy. You make money on the side. And, of course, working with a company like Prestige Worldwide Vending, who is on the up and up, can only benefit your business. Shout out to them for sponsoring the show. Now let's get back to it. All right. Let's bring them on. Sam, how we doing?
Man, there's just so much going on in football. It's been almost hard to keep up, and almost all of it's been bad. At least from the perspective of most people living in the state of Michigan. I know Lucas, shout out Lucas in the chat, was happy about one of the outcomes, but most of us have been going through it for the better part of a week or so.
Yeah, we'll just we'll start there, Sam. I mean, the boys were at the game. Me and Boone. Boone's taking me on a recruiting trip to be a Michigan fan. You know,
did we get a commitment yet? By the way,
I think that result made me question some things. I think
what.
No.
I'll tell you what, Flannel, the whole time leading up to the game, Jeff just keeps looking at me and going, he just looks at me and going, I think I'm in. It took me back to my Saginaw Valley days when we would have recruits on campus, and you would, on the weekends, you would go take them to dinner, do different things, and they're looking at you going, I love this place. And then a couple weeks later, they commit to like Davenport University, and you're like, I gave that guy the greatest time of his life.
I have a contingency. Lucas says, let's go to the shoe. He's trying to recruit me to go to the shoe.
No. You don't get to do Ohio State. It's either Michigan or Michigan State. You do not get to do Ohio State.
I have a contingency.
You're not from Ohio.
I have a contingency. I will consider joining Wolverine Nation as long as Sharon Moore is shot out of a cannon across the country and he's no longer the head coach.
Can I say this though, real quick, before you go? Can I say this, Jeff? Though I think, and I think this is good for you, Jeff. As when you become a fan of a team, sometimes it's even funner when you get to really have the head coach there and you could go at him. I think it'd be fun for you to join now, and we can try and squeeze him out together. Like that's part of building this thing up together. And on the same side, basketball season's coming up, football's almost over. We're the favorites to win the national championship. And you know what I'll do? I'll hit up Anthony Bellino. I'll hit Bellino up, and we'll double down a recruiting trip. We'll go to a Michigan basketball game.
All right, deal.
But I need you to commit now. Like I need a commitment.
No,
you don't have to sign the paper yet. You don't have to sign the paper yet, but I just need you like
verbal?
A commitment, like a verbal, like where you put online, like, hey, I am committed to the University of Michigan. I need that from you.
See how this goes.
You can't do Ohio State. You're not from Ohio. Don't.
Okay,
like,
no Ohio State. No Ohio
okay,
State.
yeah. You didn't. You're not even. Sorry, Flannel. We really just
But Flannel,
derailed.
Flannel, as a Michigan man, what the hell happened on Saturday? What the hell?
Well, I think the thing that disappointed me the most, and it's something that us Michigan fans hadn't experienced since, the days before COVID, was Ohio State absolutely manhandled Michigan in the trenches, which going into the game, I could live with Julian Sayin making some plays to Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith. But what I could not live with, and what we knew Michigan couldn't live with, and ultimately they didn't live with because they lost, was getting outrushed 186-100 by Ohio State. With Ohio State in the second half, when they needed to bleed clock, go on like a 20-play, 12-minute drive, primarily through running the football. I mean, Bo Jackson was dominant. The defensive line for Michigan got no pass rush on Julian Sayin whatsoever. They weren't able to stop the run. And then Michigan's offensive line, I mean, here's the thing. Michigan's running game, I'll give them the slight excuse of no Justice Haynes, Jordan Marshall goes down. If you would have told me before the season that the guy who had the most carries in the Michigan-Ohio State game was Bryson Cusdahl, that's nightmare fuel with all due respect to him. That all happened. But at the same time, that doesn't explain Michigan's inability to get anything going with the front four whatsoever. And when you think about these last 4 years of Michigan teams, that's been their trademark. Or the previous 3 years. Last year wasn't as good, but even they had some talented trench players and they beat Ohio State. Think about this. In 2021 and in 2022, Michigan's offensive line won the Joe Moore Award for the best O-line in the country. And obviously it was dominant again in 2023. And then you look through all of those Michigan teams. 2021, you had Hutch and Ojabo. And then as you go into the later teams, you had guys like Mike Morris, Mozzie Smith, Chris Jenkins, Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, Josiah Stewart. This year, it was Derek Moore and a lot of disappointment. Nobody really lived up to what I thought they would be on this D-line. I'm looking at guys like TJ Guy and Cameron Brandt and Rayshawn Benny. It's just in the trenches, Ohio State flipped the script and really bullied and punched Michigan in the mouth, and they just did not have an answer or a counter for that because Ohio State is just a much more talented team this year, and they proved it. They earned that win. I will tip my cap to Ohio State. They went out and they beat the shit out of Michigan.
Yeah, I'll say it's disappointing. I just want to ask you this because it was a rough week for Michigan, and we'll get back to like the Sharon Moore stuff. I have more questions a little bit later in regards to that, and as well as kind of college football as a whole for you, Flannel. And in 1 week, you had the Michigan Wolverines on Saturday lose to Ohio State, and the Detroit Lions lose to the Green Bay Packers. I announced last night, and you were one of the people who have been in my career path for the last 4 or 5 years. I've known you very close, Flannel. You've seen the whole Booner Pat thing take off. I announced last night it was over for this year. There's no Booner Pat this year. The Lions can't get it done. What are your thoughts after last Thursday? I know you went through the heartbreak on Saturday. Where are you at with this whole Lions situation, though? Kind kind of going into this week versus the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, they're on life support. I'll just say that, because it's not just that they're in third place in their division and they're currently out of the playoffs. It's that the amount of teams, like you look at the NFC West, like the 49ers, the Rams, the Seahawks, you look at even the Cowboys this week, whoever wins this game is really going to do a lot into vanquishing the other team. There's just a lot that is working against the Lions right now. I understand that they have some opportunities moving ahead, particularly if they can keep it close with the Bears going into week 18 in Chicago. But when you just look at this team and how they're playing and some of their deficiencies and the injuries that keep piling up, it doesn't look like a playoff team. And I think the thing to me, and I know the defense over the last couple of weeks has been really rough. Dan Campbell has certainly not had his best stretch as a head coach. It seems like he's struggling a little bit with managing calling plays and running a game. It's been the fact that this whole season, this Lions offense has been a little bit of what I would call a paper tiger. Some of the numbers look really pretty. The offense in terms of scoring, I think they're third in the league in points per game. Jared Goff is having a great year statistically. Gibbs is having a great year. Amon-Ra, even J-Mo as a wide receiver too. He's really picked it up with his production. Penei is obviously awesome. But when you really dig into the numbers, it's 18th in the NFL in third down percentage. It's 18th in the NFL in fourth down percentage. It's the fact that the Lions are on pace to, or Jared Goff is on pace to have the most sacks given up to him in a year. You look at some of their games against the top teams and defenses. They go into Philly and score 9. They go into Kansas City and score 17. And their 2 games against Green Bay, they average 18.5 points per game. This offense, it's too good and too talented to be bad, because obviously they've done a lot of feasting on some teams like the Commanders or even the Bears, which looks a lot better in retrospect. But at the time, the Bears needed to grow a little bit more. The Ravens, who were a little bit of a banged up defense. But it's just, I really think they're missing having an elite offensive line, which is obvious. And the whole Frank Ragnow situation was just another kick in the nuts. And he's not coming back. They miss him. They miss Zeitler. The rookies have been inconsistent, although some flashes, and now Mahogany's been out for a while and is probably going to be out for a little bit longer, although he might come back. And also, the Lions miss Ben Johnson, whether a lot of you like it or not. Nobody can mock that anymore. If you would have told me before the season that John Morton would have got relieved of his play calling duties after 8 games, and then after 12 games, Ben Johnson would lead the rival team, the Bears, to a 2-game lead as a head coach in the division, while the Lions offense is going through some troubles and they don't even have their offensive coordinating hire was a disaster. I would have been like, this is nightmare fuel. And I'm not saying it's over. I'm not saying that they can't turn it around, but I'm kind of closer to where you're at, Booner, where it just doesn't seem like it's meant to be. Things just keep happening. Injuries pile up, and they're just not that good right now. It sucks to say, but you're not off base with basically declaring the Booner path off path for at least this year.
Flynn, I think that a conversation that needs to be had, and I want to know what side you're on, because there's the Aiden Hutchinson conversation, but it's a defensive line conversation. And when you have that conversation, there's 2 sides of it. There's people that, are looking at Aiden and going, yeah, he's paid as the second highest paid edge rusher, most guaranteed money out of all pass rushers. He's got to step up. He's got to be better. And then you have the other side where it's like, it's not Hutch's fault. He needs help. And then I think there's somewhere in the middle where it's like, yeah, Hutch is paid a shitload of money. Max Crosby, Myles Garrett. I mean, these guys don't have other edge rushers and they're productive. Where are you at with this D-line? Where are you at with Aiden Hutchinson? Because at least for me, I think both things can be true in this instance. I think the D-line as a whole, Aleem's played better, but other than that, they haven't had much to help with Aiden, obviously. But then there's times where it's like you're watching Aiden Hutchinson, you're like, he's got to have more of an impact on a game, man, as of late. Where are you at with it though?
Well, I think when it comes to Aiden Hutchinson, we can all admit that he was morbid against the Packers. Even I, as the biggest Aiden Hutchinson slappy, can admit that. Did he even play? I know that's kind of a joke, but he really didn't make an impact whatsoever. And against the Giants, I know there's the defense as a whole played bad. And I know with Aiden Hutchinson, the debate is, yeah, he got a lot of QB hits and he got the sack that ended the game, but Jameis Winston also had all day to throw a lot of the time. I think what people forget is that Aiden Hutchinson, for the most part this year, has still had a good season, especially when you look at the first 7 games. I believe he had 6 sacks in his first 7 games. The debate is, and I've heard it on another show earlier, it was the Valeni show with Rico, shout out to them, is that there does seem to be a line where after Hutch got paid, his production has taken a dip when it comes to everything from sacks to pressures to win rate. And he's trending down right now, and that isn't good. But do you know what else? Who else is trending down? Al-Qadim Muhammad. Al-Qadim Muhammad was actually playing really well in the first part of the year, but in the last 4 games, he's been an absolute ghost. And then that's where you go to the D-line as a whole. The Lions were counting on Marcus Davenport being healthy and productive, and he's missed 10 games. They were maybe counting on Josh Paschal to have more of an impact, and he's been out the whole season. And that's not okay, because what about Josh Paschal's whole history and about Marcus Davenport's recent history would show you that they would be healthy and playing a lot of games and being productive? It was always a gamble to do so. And I understand that, oh, you're not paying them all that much. But then when you look at the defensive line, it's just, especially the edge rushers, I don't think it's good enough. I mean, Aleem, I understand he looked a little bit better last week. He did. I'd still like to see him make more impact. Reader, Tyleek Williams doesn't really give you much rushing the passer. It's just right now, when it comes to anything except the occasional blitz, like when blitzes get home, which isn't that often lately, quite frankly, it's just not a very good pass rush. And unfortunately, going back to Aiden Hutchinson, he has to be better moving forward, but there is not enough around him, in my opinion, to adequately support him and to adequately support this D-line winning up front and putting pressure on opposing quarterbacks. They got cooked like steak by Jameis Winston and Jordan Love. And
that's facts.
Yes, and when you talk about Jordan Love, and I like Jordan Love, I think he's a really good quarterback. They were missing Tucker Kraft, Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden, and Elton Jenkins. And it didn't matter. Dontavian Wicks and Christian Watson and Jordan Love just basically had a party at Ford Field. And then you go back to the Giants. No Jackson Dart, no Cam Scatabo, no Malik Neighbors. Jameis Winston and Wan'Dale Robinson and Theo Johnson picked the Lions secondary apart. And a lot of it was because there wasn't a lot of pass rush on Jameis Winston. So I guess to summarize this all, Aiden's got to be better, but I don't think it's really been mostly his fault. I think for the most part, they're just not good enough outside of Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson's got to step it up a bit too moving forward, because lately he hasn't been the player that he's paid to be.
Flannel, I do need to ask you this, and I don't know if this is fair to ask now or until the off season kind of comes along. Can I just get your thoughts, on this season? Obviously, it's not a full failure as of yet until obviously officially eliminated, and if they don't make the playoffs, or if they do, they get knocked out. If this season is a failure and there's nothing less but a Super Bowl, can I get who you would blame? Let's say 1, 2, 3, whether it's players, Dan Campbell or Brad Holmes. How would you rank that? I think that's interesting, because we've seen we've had a million conversations the last few weeks about it. I think personally, I think a lot of people are more so turned towards the Brad Holmes not having this team kind of prepared when it comes to the roster. Are you kind of on that, or where do you kind of fall in line when it comes to the blame of this whole season?
Well, a lot of it goes to how they, in this hypothetical world, if they fail, how they fail. And that hasn't really played itself out yet. But to me, the number one culprit has to be Brad Holmes, because for all the good that he's done, and he undoubtedly has done a lot of good, especially through the draft, you also can look at some mistakes that he's made. And I know this has been another discussion all throughout Detroit sports media so far today, but you look at the 2024 draft, bad. It's okay to say that the 2024 draft so far has been bad. I mean, you look at TA and Christian Mahogany as maybe hits, but Terran Arnold has a lifetime passer rating allowed when targeted of 96, and he's hurt for damn near half the year. Hopefully he gets better soon and heals up this offseason. Christian Mahogany has played a grand total of 570 snaps in 2 seasons. We don't know if TA and Mahogany are hits yet. And then, of course, you got Manu, and you've got Vaki, and you've got Makai Wingo, and I'm missing somebody. That's on Brad Holmes. And when it comes to doing more on this defensive line, it has not worked putting faith in Marcus Davenport and Josh Paschal. It's been a bust. They've both been non-existent whatsoever. And then even in this year, they didn't really add anything to the edge rushing room, except for Ahmad Hassanin, who hasn't played, hurt, 6th round pick anyway. So I think ultimately, if the Lions don't reach expectations, it will be on Brad Holmes for not doing enough to put them to where they need to be. Remember a few weeks ago when I made the statement, and I was very careful about how I chose my words. It was after the Eagles had landed Jalen Phillips. I was like, Brad Holmes, albeit a damn good GM, is not as good as he needs to be. And when I say as he needs to be, I mean in terms of putting this team over the top to where they are Super Bowl contenders and they ultimately end up winning one of those things. So ultimately, I think the most blame will fall on Brad Holmes. And then we're just going to have to see how the rest of the season plays out to where you divvy up the rest of the blame. Because despite how grim it looks right now, there's still a lot that the Lions can say about this season in terms of righting the ship, or the other way, if the ultimate disaster happens and they don't make the playoffs. There's too much season to ultimately make too many conclusions.
What about just the NFC North as a whole, Flannel, going forward? The Bears seem to have arrived or arriving. The Packers are the Packers. They're always going to be in this conversation. Vikings are still figuring out what they're going to do at quarterback. But just the NFC North as a whole, this is something we talked – me and Booner had a discussion about after the NFC Championship game. And, you know, I told him every year it doesn't look the same, man. Teams arrive. It's like it's what the Bills are dealing with right now. You know, the Bills – won their division. It seemed like every year you could book them to win the division, and they didn't capitalize to win a Super Bowl. And now here come the Patriots with Drake May. It's just how the NFL is, man. There's windows for a reason. You never know when your division is going to change up for the worse for you. You know, a new franchise quarterback arrives, a new head coach arrives in your division, and things change. What do you make of the NFC North for the future and the Lions just contending? I'm not insinuating that it's over for the Lions, but how much more difficult will this division be for the future? Just your outlook on the Bears for the future, the Packers for the future, so on and so forth.
Well, I want to start with the Bears because I think there's something that I think I need to bring up. Going into this season, Ben Johnson as a head coach was a question mark. I thought that it would work because I loved what he did with the Lions, and I thought he had some more of those head coach qualities that a lot of Lions fans scoffed at. And also, I believe in Caleb Williams more than most. And I think what we've seen, at least through this season, is that Ben Johnson has been a slam dunk home run hire. Right now, if you're voting for Coach of the Year, it would either be Mike Vrabel or Ben Johnson. And that's just a fact. Also, though, what I think should put all of us on notice about the Bears, other than the fact that they're first in the division, is that Ryan Poles is actually showing some chops as a GM. I know Ryan Poles is somebody that we've all laughed at because the Bears have been continuously a losing organization and they've whiffed on some draft picks. And obviously they haven't always made the smartest decisions, or Ryan Poles hasn't always made the smartest decisions. But what Ryan Poles did this offseason, and I think having Ben Johnson as a coach had something to do with it, they completely rebuilt that offensive line. It's like on the interior, In the offseason, they traded for Joe Tooney and Jonah Jackson, and they acquired Drew Dahlman via free agency. And every single one of those has worked. Every single one. And the Bears, they also passed on Jalen Carter 23 draft and got Darnell Wright, and he looks like a damn good right tackle. And then you look at some of the stuff that they've done in this offseason, what they were able to do by drafting Kyle Monungai in the 7th round. And Kyle Monungai and DeAndre Swift have become one of the best rushing duos in the NFL. And
Oh no.
I think a lot of that has to do with Ben Johnson and his scheme. And the way that
Not good.
the running game.
That's tough. See if it comes back. Maybe he's not out. Maybe.
Works
Oh,
with him, and it's something that we've obviously
yeah.
Yeah, I love. Can I say this? I completely love the fact, and this is how you know Flannel is a pro until we take him off. He will just keep going. Like he is so dialed in. He's going.
Let me see if he'll. He should join again. I don't want him to. Like I feel bad. He's like, he did because he kind of. I think he gets pissed sometimes with his internet. And he's just like, I'm out. All right, let me see if I can get him back. He's still. Lucas says he's still probably going. Let me get Flannel back, man. Let me get Flannel back. He's battling. He was battling there. Hold on. We might have Flannel back. Let's see if he just left. When he gets in the studio, we'll have him back. We'll see if it works. Because I do want to ask him about Sherrone Moore still. I think it's something.
That's a big one I want to ask him about. I want to talk about Sherrone Moore with Flannel.
Oh, it looks like Flannel. It looks good on it. Flannel, it looked good.
He does. I think it might be maybe on his phone.
Yeah, he's on
he
his
should
phone.
have said, yeah, Flannel. We got to get him back in here because I know we talked Lions and Bears and Ben Johnson. We got to talk Sherrone Moore. We got to talk some college football with the man.
All right, Flannel.
You have to.
Oh yes.
Hey, sorry about that, fellas. My laptop got a little overheated, but
No,
don't have a microphone,
Flannel.
but this is like the next best thing.
Can we ask you? Can we ask you about the and Klotz put in the chat there? Klotz, you have to stay allegedly when you say all that, man. We be careful out there with that. Allegedly, now take that off. We don't want to get sued. Allegedly, I mean, if it's wrong, we're dead. Especially Michigan, they'll really get people. What's Flannel? Sherrone Moore. I want to say this. I said it yesterday. We were at dinner for your birthday and having some drinks weeks ago. And I think it was after the Northwestern win. And you and Nick were like, I wouldn't say, man, you not so. Nick was a little like, Booner, you're crazy or an idiot. Because I was like, no matter what happens this year, I want Sherrone Moore out. I'm tired of being, you're great with Jim Harbaugh and you're average with Sherrone. And I said it yesterday, and Jeff, you could tell me if I'm wrong. I felt like I had a really good point. When there's a 12-team playoff and you're supposed to be the elite of the elite, you're supposed to be one of the best college football programs in the nation. You should never, in a 12-team playoff, you should never go back-to-back years with the NIL and transfer portal of not sniffing the college football playoffs. Never. I don't care if you have a freshman quarterback. I do not care. You should never, if you are an elite program, go back-to-back years without a college football playoff appearance. And that's, in my opinion, already like, hey, you're gone, man. Like, you obviously, like, this isn't no longer a long-term build. You don't get to bring a freshman quarterback in and take 3 years until he's a junior to be good. You have to have dudes in today, and you have to win. I'm on the side of Sharon needs to be gone, and you need to go get the next best thing in here. And obviously right now the coaching cycle's gone through a little bit, Flannel, so it's hard as of now. That's on Michigan. But I still think that they can go out and find someone, man, because I don't think you'll ever get it done with Sharon Moore.
You know, Booner, I don't necessarily 100% agree with you, but I'm not mad at you in any way, shape, or form. I think there's a lot of question marks about Sharon Moore. And I think one of the most damning things is that you look at this 9-3 season, it's a fugazi 9-3 season because when they went to Oklahoma, when they went to USC, when they were at home against Ohio State, they got blown out in all of those games. And honestly, they got bullied in all of those games. Didn't even really look like they belonged on the same field. Didn't even look like they had the same level of athletes, besides maybe like a Justice Haynes or an Andrew Marsh or a somebody like that. So, yeah, missing the playoffs for a second year in a row is damning. Me, if I'm going to try to be a little bit more measured, I might say playoffs or bust next year. Let's see if Bryce Underwood can develop more and actually become the quarterback that he has the talent to become. But if you told me tomorrow that Sharon Moore was fired, the only trepidation that I would have is, oh boy, who are they going to get? So many of the best names have already landed jobs. That'd be the only thing that I'm concerned about.
Yeah, it's tough too, Flannel, because Bryce is going to be people are going to try and pry him away. Like, you don't think Lane Kiffin, LSU, I mean, they're probably going to get Ole Miss's quarterback, but they might even make the call. They might make the call and just be like, hey, Bryce, what do you think? Come play for Lane Kiffin, quarterback guru, put up the numbers, quarterback-friendly system. So now not only are you want to decide whether Sharon Moore can coach or not, which I think you probably have an idea of if he can coach or not, but you're also up against time here because if you wait too long, Bryce might be like, I'm out. I'm going to LSU. I'm going to put up numbers, get drafted high. I don't know, man. I don't know. Big Ten football, it's cool. But then you see Oregon and quarterback like a Dante Moore throwing the ball around, zipping it around. Julian Sand zipping the ball around. You can't beat Ohio State. We think we can agree kicking field goals and not passing the ball. All right, I think, and Bryce obviously is not he's not perfect right now. Obviously, he's a true freshman, so there's some, he's not. There's some accuracy issues. There's a couple things he's probably working on, but that's something you got to think about, Flannel. Bryce Underwood, they're going to try and pry him the hell out of Ann Arbor. They just don't.
Well, yeah, and at this point, if you're Bryce Underwood, if you're other teams, I think we also have to take into account, and maybe this would give Bryce Underwood more incentive to leave, is even though some of this was his fault, after the Ohio State game, and when you really look at the season as a whole, we can say that Bryce Underwood's true freshman season was a failure. I don't mean that it's an F on a scale of like A to F. I would say that it's kind of like a C- season. You look at how he looked from the beginning to the end of the year, you don't see a lot of development. You didn't see a quarterback who looked like one of the best recruit against Ohio State. It looked like a quarterback that just wasn't ready for the moment. And you can forgive a QB for doing that in their first ever game against Ohio State. But when you really look back at it, he had a chance. Because following the Washington game, I was like, okay, Bryce Underwood is about to take off. He's having a successful season up to this point. You've got MSU, you've got Purdue, you've got Northwestern. Maybe this is where Bryce is about to take off. But what actually happened was he threw for 86 yards against a terrible MSU team. He threw for 145 and had 2 red zone turnovers against Purdue. And in the Northwestern game, for the first 3 quarters, he played excellent. In the fourth quarter, he almost single-handedly blew the game by himself with 2 interceptions and a fumble before, to his credit, with a lot of help from the defense, making a really clutch throw to the sideline to Andrew Marsh on 1 third down, scrambling on another 3rd down. I guess my point with all of this is that you can say he's had some good moments, like the Washington game, the Wisconsin game, the Maryland game. But at the end of the day, the way he looked against Ohio State, the way that his development was, I didn't see as much as I would like to. And 9 touchdown passes in 12 games is unacceptable, even if you are a 18-year-old true freshman. So I've defended Bryce for the most part, but it is on him and it's on the coaching staff to get him taking a seismic leap into next year, because if he doesn't, Michigan will not make the playoff. And Sharon Moore, if he's not fired before next season, which I don't think he will be, he definitely will be if Bryce doesn't take some tangible leaps.
Hey, Nick Marsh entered that transfer portal.
Bring that man home.
Pair him
Hey,
up.
I'll say this, and I know
Pair him
people
with Little
don't.
Bro.
This is going to sound crazy, and I don't mean it in the way that I don't want Bryce Underwood, because I want Bryce Underwood here for the next couple of years. I think he's going to be very good, and I think the talent, like I know this year was maybe underwhelming. I think he's going to get better. I will say this: if Jeff, your scenario ends up happening, and they're like LSU's like give us Bryce, and he goes. In a normal world, old college football, I'd be like, oh no, like we're dead. In today's world, like you go get like, and this is where I don't want Sharon Moore, because Flannel, like yesterday, I brought up the point, like with Sharon, fresh out of coming off a national championship, you have Davis Warren as your quarterback. In no world, as a premier program in college football, should that happen. He should have been able to go out, and I know like there's the world where quarterbacks don't want to go to Michigan. There's no way you couldn't get any NIL money to go get some quarterback around the country that's started in college football to come play there last year. There's no way. 0.0% chance. And I think like if Bryce some reason does go to LSU or leave, I don't trust Sharon Moore to go out and get another quarterback. Like you see teams around the country, like when Nico left Tennessee, what did Tennessee do? Nico left Tennessee as late as possible. But what did Tennessee do? They went and got a transfer quarterback that played, I don't know, 60-plus starts, and it was a high-level player. I think it was like UNLV or something, and he comes in, and they were still ranked top 25 throughout this year for a while.
Aguilar,
yes.
Yeah.
So, like, and you look at, like, Miami. Miami loses Cam Ward. What do? They go get Carson Beck. Like, that's what premier programs do in the NIL and transfer portal these years now, like in today's college football. Sharon Moore doesn't do that. And the reason I know he doesn't do that is because of last year he didn't do it when he had an opportunity to. So I don't want him here. I just don't think he can do it. I really don't. I think he has the mindset of building from the bottom up. And that's why I was like a little mad a couple weeks ago when, you and Nick a little were pushing, like, hey, Boone, like he's only a freshman. He's only going to get better. But it's like, I understand that. But there should never in today's college football be, we need to wait a year or two for anyone anymore. If you're doing that, you're falling behind and you're losing out on a lot of money, and you're losing out because other teams, why can the Georgias and the Bamas and the Notre Dames and all these teams, Ohio State, how are these teams constantly in the college football playoffs every single year? But all of a sudden, Michigan drops out, not for just 1 year, for 2 years. Why when Kurt Cignetti gets to Indiana, a program that's never done it, instantly he goes to back-to-back college football playoffs and he's number 2 in the country? It's embarrassing, in my opinion. You're Michigan. They have to be better.
Well, it's not ideal. In Sharon Moore's 2 years as a Michigan head coach, his first year, Davis Warren was the starter. And then in his next year,
whose fault is that?
It's
his fault. It's not him. That falls on him. There's a transfer portal. You go get someone.
I'm not defending him at all. I'm just saying that like it's not ideal at all. And they shouldn't have been in that situation because I'm not saying that I don't like that Bryce Underwood started this year, but with true freshmen, besides for Trevor Lawrence, it was always going to be some growing pains. And I know that they brought in Mikey Keene from Fresno State, but he was hurt and he was a little underwhelming anyway. But yeah, to your point, they didn't bring in like Fernando Mendoza, or they didn't get like when Ohio State got Will Howard, for example. You mentioned Carson Beck, even Vanderbilt getting Diego Pavia. That's something that Michigan hasn't done yet. Get that impact transfer portal quarterback. And I understand that they had JJ there and Bryce Underwood is somebody who is very highly regarded. And I think a lot of us wanted to see what he could do, but Michigan hasn't had to do that yet. And when I say hasn't had to do that, they maybe should have a couple of times, but we'll see how it's going to play out in the future, because next year I still think the most ideal thing for this Michigan program is for Bryce Underwood to take that leap. I still believe in his talent. I still love some of the throws he was able to make and the flashes that he showed that he showed. I love the potential connection that he could build from the ground up with Andrew Marsh. We saw that brewing this year. But if it doesn't work next year, there's not time for patience and waiting around. As you said, teams get good and they rebuild quickly through the transfer portal. Indiana and Vanderbilt on line one. You can even look at Ole Miss with a Lane Kiffin, how good they've been able to be. You don't get time nowadays. Michigan State's evidence of that. Jonathan Smith, 2 years, see ya.
See, so he had 2 years. Why does Sharon get more than 2 years?
Well, because Jonathan Smith was an absolute abject disaster at MS.
But I think Michigan State and Michigan have different expectations. Michigan just comes off a national championship. Michigan State's trying to get back to that. I think with Michigan, it's like, hey man, you just won a national championship. Why have you just because you won a like Flannel? What national championship over the last 10 years has fallen off 2 straight years and hasn't even gone to a college football playoffs 2 years after winning one? Has there been one?
I think LSU in 2019, the team with Burrow and
okay, but what happened to Coach O?
Out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
like
why are there different expectations in Ann Arbor? When I'm like, hey, year 2, dude, you're done. We need someone who wants, and it's like, dude, you could have went and sent $100 million to Lane Kiffin. Why not just go for it, right? Like, why not go for some of these young coaches who are getting these SEC Big Ten jobs? Why not go throw an absolute bag at some of these guys to come in who are young guys like the Lane Kiffins and come in and take this thing over? I think it's embarrassing. I think it's embarrassing being in year 2 of Sharon and he missed the college football playoffs yet again.
Yeah.
And a 12th team, dude. It's
completely
it's
unacceptable.
so frustrating.
And I think it's a situation where you're right. And a slightly more measured approach, which I'm taking, is also right. I wouldn't be like, I hate to play both sides and be a squish, but I'm not mad at what you're saying. The only thing that I would be worried about is they fired him too late because all the other coaches are gone. But Sharon Moore has absolutely not been good enough. And I don't know if he can coach. I have no idea.
I do after the Northwestern game. That Northwestern game, that one was like, hey, this guy's just, I don't think he can coach. He's maybe a good coordinator. Man can't coach, be a head coach. He makes the worst decisions.
It was a Fugazi 9-3 season.
For sure.
It was. So, yeah, of course, I wouldn't be mad at all if he got fired.
Flannel, before we get you out of here, I want to get your thoughts. Pat Fitzgerald, MSU's next coach. What's your thoughts on it?
So, I think they're varied. But my first instinct as somebody who's watched a lot of Big Ten football in my life, being, in my mid-30s, saw a lot of Pat Fitzgerald's rise at Northwestern, if you can call it a rise. I do think he's a good coach. I think that he's a contrast to Jonathan Smith, a little bit more hard-nosed, tough. I think he's got a chip on his shoulder because of what happened to him at Northwestern, where he got fired because of the hazing incident, but it was proven that he was basically cleared of any wrongdoing, and Northwestern's AD basically apologized to him. I think that he's going to bring some discipline into this MSU program. I think that their floor is going to be more established. I think Jonathan Smith was a guy whose dream job was actually Oregon State, and he left voluntarily and realized he made a big mistake and he never really fit in here. Pat Fitzgerald's dream job in alma mater was also Northwestern, but he got fired probably unjustly. So he's looking to prove a point. In Northwestern, it's weird because this is where it's a little bit of a mixed bag. And I don't want to play both sides again, but I also want to give you like the full picture of Pat Fitzgerald. He did lead Northwestern to 3 10-win seasons. And that's really, really hard to do at a program like Northwestern, especially pre-NIL with the academic standards. It's really, really hard to do. He also led him to a 9-win season. It also, as NIL was coming into fruition, his last few years, besides for the 2020 COVID year, were morbid. They were I think 3 consecutive years, besides for the COVID year, they had 1 win in the Big Ten. It was awful. He had 7 losing seasons in his Northwestern coaching tenure. If you're an MSU fan, though, it does seem like he's learned or at least taken some time to try to figure out during his absence some of the nuances and changes with being a modern football head coach. I think that he said a lot of good things in his press conference. We'll see, but I do think ultimately he will be an upgrade over Jonathan Smith, and I think the perpetual 4-win seasons are a thing of the past. I don't know what their ceiling is, but I do think they'll establish a bit of a floor, and I do think they'll establish some toughness and some knowledge of the Big Ten, guy with a chip on his shoulder. I think he'll better use some of the bulletin board that Michigan uses, like gives Michigan State. I think ultimately it's a good hire for them. I just don't know what the ceiling is. I don't know if they'll get to be an actual contender.
Wow. Love it, Flannel. Good stuff as always. You guys can follow Flannel at Flannel Sam. Sam, we appreciate you. Adversity,
Come on, Flannel.
Powering through the laptop. You joined via cell phone. You did great today, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
How was the cell phone, by the way? Was it okay? Like I
You know
sound
what?
It
okay?
was.
Okay,
You know
cool.
what? It is just fine. You did fine today, Flannel. You did great.
All right. This will be my permanent backup, but I'm gonna work on the laptop thing. I might run the fan on it next week or something. Always looking to get me better. But
There you
I'll
go.
see guys.
We appreciate you.
Thanks,
There you go.
Flannel.
Our friend Flannel Sam joining the show, talking some ball. We got about 14 minutes left. Fire away your mailbag questions.
All the mailbag questions, answer anything.
Yeah, we will. Shout out to Flannel, man. Battling the laptop overheating, joins on a cell phone.
And also, too, I know, like, am I maybe too like? Is it too much? My expectations for Michigan?
No, I love it. I think that's your best argument, to be honest. Is what LSU? I mean, LSU obviously is a massive brand, and they win a national championship.
Can't you argue Michigan's there though? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's a massive brand. You have backers. You have NIL money. You have a prestige program. I mean, the big house. I mean, yeah, it's Michigan, dude. Like,
it just feels like you shouldn't be like Notre Dame. Like, there's all these schools that just like it feels like every single year they're in the college football playoffs. Like every year.
Yeah, it's not.
Why is Michigan not one of those programs?
Well, Michigan should be.
They should be. That's what I'm saying. But with Sharon the last 2 years, like I think it should be unacceptable to go back-to-back years. Like you should at least minimum make it every other year. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bowl games. I mean, okay. That's not what you're expecting here. It's an expanded playoff. I mean, look how many teams have a chance to get in.
I think it's embarrassing if you go back-to-back years without it, and you're supposed to be one of those top-tier programs. You're coming off a national championship win 2 years ago, dude. It's just embarrassing to me. And Sharon, like, hey, dude, like, sorry, these are the expectations at Michigan. You should know them. You're out.
Yeah, I agree. I think your expectations are fair. I think that's how most Michigan fans should think. If I just unbiased, Sharon Moore should be fired. It should be done. I mean, it's a little late now, but he should have already been fired.
I agree. I don't even know now who you would get that's like, you know what I mean? It'd be something at the beginning of the cycle for Michigan, like one of the best in the cycle.
Yeah, maybe you do keep him another year because you don't really have I mean, what do you do now? I mean, MSU, it's like MSU was in a position where they got Pat Fitzgerald, which I do like Pat Fitzgerald, but they were in a different spot to where it's like you have to convince someone to come coach Michigan. Pat Fitzgerald it works for him. Or Michigan State. But like Michigan, like coaches would want to come here. You know, it's just I don't know who you're getting at this point. I mean, I don't know. It's tough at this point.
Like Klotz saying, like that's where Michigan fans get slappy. The only time they were like that was with Harbaugh. I think though, like Harbaugh, Jeff, and you can agree or disagree. Like I don't know how you feel about it. I think like Harbaugh proved that that's how Michigan should be. And I know Harbaugh is one of the best coaches that we've ever seen in football. But I think like him coming in and doing that, it's like, hey, this should be the expectation at Michigan. Like you are, like I know what Jesse said. Like you're not as what LSU is, but you are the brand. Like with the brand you have. That's what you should be, is what Harbaugh had it at, right? Like, so if you are not there, you should not have that coach leading your program anymore. Like, if Sharon's not going to have an expectation of Jim Harbaugh level, you should not be there. And if, like, when Jim was here, if there was a 12-team playoff, like, I know he didn't make it every year with the 4-team, but if there was a 12-team playoff, man, like, and Jim Harbaugh did not make it back-to-back seasons every other year, that's disappointing. So it's like, all right, Sharon's not up to that level, get rid of him. If you bring a new guy in and he's not up to that level, get rid of him. I don't care if you go through 6 coaches in the next 12 years. You do it until you find a coach that gets that level. That is what your program is. And obviously, like, you're going to find one of those guys you're going to figure at some point you're going to find a guy that's going to do it. But man, like, you can't, like, again, like, this has nothing to do with like anything else. Ohio State, Michigan, nothing, man. It's more so just like, I think everyone in the world knows the Michigan brand. The expectation is the expectation. Jim Harbaugh just came in and showed that you could do it. So why do you settle for less? And like, that's why when I argue with Nick and Flannel at dinner a few weeks ago, it was like, they're like, well, just give it a couple. What do you mean a couple years? Like, let Bryce develop. What do you mean? Like, it's today's college football. Look at Texas, man. Like, Arch Manning, 5-star quarterback, goes in. Guess what he didn't do his first year or two? Start. Why? Wasn't ready. Who do they have? Or Quinn Ewers. And what do they do, Jeff? Go to college football playoffs and compete. There's no excuse. If you're going to be a freshman quarterback at a prestigious program like that that's expecting college football playoffs, you should be expected freshman year to go to the college football playoffs. You fall short, that's a failure. If Arch, his freshman year, took the spot over Quinn Ewers, guess what they're expecting there at Texas? College football playoffs. That's it, man. That is it. So they got to figure this thing out, man. And I think the Sherrone Moore bus is gone. And they got to go find someone else.
Before we get to mailbag, actually, this is actually a good comment. You think that Michigan? I mean, Harbaugh had beef with Michigan. You think that's a part of this Michigan job that is a little unattractive?
I think they switched, though. I do think Harbaugh was having trouble with the NIL. I think wasn't there something going on with all of that?
Yeah, it's like the
getting the money, but then
just like.
But as soon as he left, they found the money, and they ended up. You know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as Harbaugh, I don't know if people remember that. Like, Harbaugh was having trouble getting the NIL money. Like, they were refusing to pay and keep guys there. Yeah. But then I don't know what happened. I don't know what changed. I'm not. There's probably people who follow college football a little closer than me. I don't know what it was, but when Sherrone took over, they were like, "Well, we got a guy to pony up money," and they went and got what's his name? That's like the richest guy in the world, and they got $10 million to Bryce. But Ward for some weird reason was like refusing to do NIL for the longest.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden they switched, so they have the money now.
Yeah, are you going to replace Jim Harbaugh? No. Jim Harbaugh is an elite head coach. He can coach college. He can coach in the NFL. He's a very, very rare type of coach. But that's why if you're going to hire a head coach, man, you got to get someone that's already established to some extent. I think Michigan's in a very unique street. You can't go.
Look at Cignetti.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go get.
You're telling me there's not another guy like Cignetti? Obviously not Cignetti, but like there's guys out there right now who have smaller programs that are dominating, that would come in and dominate at Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
How does Cignetti do that in 1 year, dude? Cignetti comes in 12 wins. Like, this guy's incredible, dude.
By the way, Nick, appreciate the 5. He says he needs help, but Brad is stuck on D-line. Wingo, Broderick, Tyleek, Lopez, Levi. Wingo hasn't even played. We need a real pass rusher. Liam at DN is desperate. Agreed. Yeah, Brad, for some reason, man, the defensive end spot, it's been a problem. It really has. Appreciate the 5, though, my friend. Phil, mailbag, when does the new Booner path start? What does it take? Shut down for the year, Boone? Out of service?
I'll tell you what, the Booner path, it's under construction right now. Detour until 2026. It's like one of those things, you know, when you're building a new building and you put outside like the big poster board of the new building. It says under construction. There's like a billboard. There's like a, you know, the picture of like what the design's going to look like. And it says coming in 2026. And there's remodeling happening. It's kind of like a stadium that's under construction, you know, like renovations are happening. Hopefully new, you know, we might be able to open it up if they make the playoffs. Maybe we can figure that out. Even then, I don't know if I'm confident that it could be done by then. As of right now, though, it's August 2026.
Patty Grimes, mailbag. Jeff, who wins first, U of M or Detroit Lions? Detroit Lions or U of M, Boone?
Versus each other?
No, like who wins first? Who wins it all first?
Oh, probably U of M again. I don't know. I don't have confidence in either right now.
Really, the question's who's closer? I would say the Detroit
Probably the
Lions.
Lions, yeah.
Yeah, they'd probably win first. JR mailbag, is it me or is Cade quietly becoming the new face of Detroit? I wouldn't even say quietly, JR. I think he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's loudly becoming the face of Detroit. He is. Best team in Detroit right now. He's their best player. He just won Player of the Month. Yeah, he's that guy. He's that guy, man. He's the face. Whether you like the NBA
he's
or
that
not.
guy, pal.
He's that guy, pal. Xavier, what two things that must happen in order for the Lions to win on Thursday? Ooh.
I like this. Pass block. Protect Jared Goff.
Protect Jared Goff. Get sacks.
Those are both two great things, actually.
Yeah, that would be. And third thing, don't turn the ball over. You can't afford to. You can't afford to.
Can we actually, you know what? I got this because tomorrow we have the doc on. Maybe tomorrow we could do some game. What are they we usually do? Keys to victory. Maybe I go back to basics. Win the turnover battle, man.
Did they win the turnover battle against Jordan Love?
I don't remember the last time they've won a turnover battle. Maybe they did.
They did against the Giants and won.
Did they versus last week versus the Packers?
I don't even know if there's any turnovers. I don't think so.
Win the turnover battle, you win the game.
That's it. Get interceptions. Don't throw interceptions. There you go.
Don't fumble.
ETN mailbag. God forbid the Lions miss the playoffs. Which team will you guys root for in the playoffs?
That's a good question. I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna with.
I'll say it.
Bills.
I'll say it.
I'm
The
a Josh Allen.
Lions are out of the playoffs.
Don't say it. I know who you're gonna say because I'm thinking the same thing. I'm not gonna say it.
What's the chat think I'm going to say?
They say Bears. I don't think you're gonna say Bears. I think you're gonna say a different team. I'm not the Bears. I will say I'll go an AFC team because I would hate for an NFC team to win it. I'll go the Bills because I'm a Josh Allen guy. I've been very consistent the last few years on that.
I would probably, to be honest with you, just personal.
He's gonna say it.
I'll go Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, I agree. I do. I agree, dude.
I want Stafford to win another one, man.
I'm right there with you. If Stafford wins MVP and wins a Super Bowl, I'm happy for our guy. I know people hate to hear
I want
that.
him to be a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer no matter what.
We'll lock it in. If he wins MVP, he locks it in.
Yeah.
And
But if they win a Super Bowl, I would love, like, my dream Super Bowl of Lions don't make it. I think Bills Rams would be my, like, that'd be like, all right, I love to see this. Either Stafford or Josh Allen gets one. I'm good.
Jesse says, mailbag Jeff, isn't it funny how Booner made fun of Childs at 18 years old, true freshman with 13 TDs, but Bryce only has 9?
I don't know if that's the case, Jeff. You've been with me this whole time. I think it's just because Michigan State fans like I had to like Aiden Childs was like the next coming of God. I don't think I've ever and this is where I think Jesse doesn't listen and doesn't open his ears sometimes. He's going to respond being like, well, you know, Jeff, you know what's going to happen. You know what I'll say. I'll hopefully he's typing right now and he clicks enter before I say it. He's going to be like, well, Booner, you guys all said Bryce Underwood would be a Heisman winner. I never said it. So don't type that comment or put that comment to me. I never once said that Bryce Underwood's going to be even a Heisman candidate. Michigan State fans were like, Aiden Childs is the next big thing. Aiden Childs might be a Heisman winner. And then the difference of that is Aiden Childs led his team to 4 wins. Bryce Underwood won 9. So there's no argument to it. So you could stop asking or putting those questions in the chat. There's no validity to it.
Wow.
I think that's fair. No, Jeff? Like, I think it's fair. A 4-win team and a 9-win team. I don't care what the stats look like. One's a freshman quarterback. The other one's a sophomore or junior that's been hyped up like he's like the next big thing. And everyone said that he's going to take them to a bowl game, and he couldn't even do that. So I think it's pretty fair, to be honest. I don't think Michigan State fans can comment on Aiden Childs and Bryce Underwood. No.
It's fair. I think it's fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just being honest, I'm not trying to be like a dick or anything. It is what it is. Like, there's no reason for that comp to even happen.
I can't say anything about Michigan State. I'm gonna, my top 3 is coming soon.
No, you are committed.
No, not yet. Technically, I'm not. I'm still open. MSU people are hitting me up. Michigan are hitting. There are people like you hitting me up. You've been recruiting me pretty hard with Michigan. Now I got Klotz with Ohio State.
I was gonna say you can't do outside of Michigan. That would be.
I got a team. I lived in Georgia for years.
No, man.
I got Georgia hitting.
Did you see?
Up.
I'll do this. Did you see Georgia lost a 5-star quarterback, number 1 player in 2026?
Yeah,
Vandy.
Yeah.
And by the way, too, I don't think I've said this on air yet. There is no reason on God's green earth that Diego Pavia should not be the Heisman winner. Should not be. Like, he needs to be the Heisman winner. If the Heisman every year, they're like, I always hear, dude, the Heisman's about stats. It's not the most valuable player. It's about the best player. That's Diego Pavia. He has over 4,000 total yards. I think the next, like, I think San or
he should be in New York. He should be.
No. He should win the Heisman Trophy. We're talking about best player. He's faced over 6 ranked teams where San and Fernando Mendoza have faced like 2 or 3. He has 4,000 yards. Their next highest, I think, is like 3,000 total. The only thing that I think one of them has, I think Fernando might have like 2 more total touchdowns than him, and that's it. Percentages, like every other stat, Diego Pavia is better, and he played in the SEC this year. And you could be like, well, the Big Ten's pretty good. Julian San and Fernando Mendoza did not play each other, but they're going to this weekend. They never played Oregon. They never played, I don't know, Illinois. I mean, they did play in Illinois. But they didn't play anyone big. Texas, 14-7. Pavia just ran for 180 yards last week and a 40-20 win. Diego Pavia needs to win the Heisman Trophy. There's no question about it. If he doesn't, I'm out on the Heisman Trophy for the next couple of years. I'm tired of the Heisman giving the wrong people the trophy. It's embarrassing at this point. What's the point of the trophy if you're not going to give it to the best player?
We'll end it on that. Hey, tomorrow, the DOC joining the show. They don't want to be there. The Doc. It'll be a
love you guys. Doc, like the stream.
There you go. Like the stream. Hit the like button on the way out. Hit it.
Please, let's get 100 likes.
All right. We'll catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Till then, peace.